The alien threat. The world woke up to a terrifying sight one fateful morning. Across the globe, people looked up and saw something they could never have imagined. Giant alien ships floating in the skies. They were enormous, almost like dark clouds that blocked out the sun, casting a shadow over cities and towns below. These ships were unlike anything Earth had ever seen. They didn't look like the ships from science fiction movies, sleek, shining, and full of hope. No, these ships were cold, menacing, and built for war. At first, no one knew who they were or where they came from. The ships hovered silently over the Earth's major capitals: New York, London, Paris, Beijing, and others. Panic spread across the globe. People ran into the streets, staring up at the sky, whispering in fear. The government leaders were the first to be contacted. Their phones rang nonstop as they scrambled to figure out what was happening. The military was put on high alert, but there was no sign of any attack, just the silent, looming ships. Hours passed before the first message came through. The alien ships didn't fire any weapons or show any signs of aggression. Instead, they transmitted a message, a warning. A chilling voice, cold and robotic, echoed in every language on Earth. "We come for your resources. Surrender now or face the consequences." The voice sent a shiver down the spine of everyone who heard it. Who were these invaders? Why had they chosen now to come? The message didn't explain. It was as if the aliens assumed humanity would simply bow down and give up. They made it clear that Earth's fate was in their hands. In major cities, military forces were mobilized. Tanks rolled through the streets, and soldiers lined up in front of government buildings. The world's leaders quickly met in an emergency summit, but there was no clear answer. Some argued for diplomacy. Perhaps the aliens were not here to destroy humanity, but to negotiate for peace. Others believed that surrendering even a small amount of Earth's resources would lead to eventual subjugation. They feared the aliens would demand more once they knew how valuable Earth was. Fear gripped the world like never before. People began to question whether Earth stood a chance against such powerful invaders. Was there any hope? Could humans fight back? Across the globe, the air was filled with uncertainty. In every corner of the world, families gathered together, watching the news. The question on everyone's mind was the same. What would happen next? The aliens had made their demand, but humanity wasn't prepared for what might come after. The days dragged on, and there was still no response from the aliens. They remained in their ships, floating above Earth, watching, waiting. As time passed, rumors spread that the aliens had powerful weapons far beyond anything humans could imagine. Some people believed they could destroy entire cities with a single blast, while others whispered that the aliens could wipe out humanity in an instant. No one knew what the aliens were truly capable of, and that made them even more terrifying. Governments began to prepare for the worst. They strengthened military defenses, and scientists started working around the clock, trying to understand the technology behind the alien ships. Experts were flown in from around the world to study the ships, trying to figure out how they worked. But nothing made sense. The technology was so advanced, it seemed like it belonged to another universe entirely. How could humanity fight against something so far beyond their understanding? Meanwhile, ordinary people went about their daily lives, but there was a sense of dread in the air. People were afraid to leave their homes, unsure of what the aliens might do next. Some began to panic, preparing for war. Others tried to keep calm, hoping that the situation would resolve itself. But deep down, everyone knew the truth. The aliens would not simply go away. They would either take Earth's resources by force, or they would make humanity their slaves. The world was at a crossroads. There was no time to waste. As the alien ships remained in the sky, humanity had to decide what to do. Would they negotiate with the aliens, hoping to keep the peace, or would they prepare for war, risking everything to defend their world? Leaders argued fiercely, trying to make the right decision, but no one knew for sure. The only thing that was clear was that humanity's future was uncertain. The aliens had made their demand, and now the world had to respond. Would humans be able to defend their planet? Or would they fall to the might of an enemy they didn't understand? The next few days would be critical. The whole world was watching, waiting for a sign of what would come next. Every moment felt like a countdown to something catastrophic. Earth's fate hung in the balance. What would humanity choose? Would they give in to the alien demand, or would they rise up to face the challenge? The world would soon find out. In that moment of uncertainty, one thing was clear. Humanity was about to face the most dangerous challenge it had ever known. The world's response. As the alien ships hovered above Earth, the world was paralyzed by fear and uncertainty. Governments, military leaders, and scientists from every corner of the globe quickly convened to decide on a response. The message from the aliens was simple but terrifying. Surrender now or face the consequences. With no clear understanding of what the aliens were capable of, the human race was torn between two choices: diplomacy or war. The first response came from the United Nations, which called for an emergency meeting. Representatives from every country gathered, faces tense, voices raised in argument. Some leaders pushed for a peaceful resolution, hoping that a negotiated settlement could avoid a full-scale war. They believed that humanity's best chance was to show the aliens that Earth was not to be feared, that they could coexist peacefully, and that war would only bring devastation. But not everyone shared this view. Military leaders and others who had seen the destructive power of modern weaponry warned that the alien ships might be invincible. They didn't come to talk. They came to conquer, one general boldly declared. Fear of being wiped out in a single strike urged some countries to prepare for battle. The thought of surrendering, of giving up any resources to the aliens, was unimaginable. If they did that, many argued, humanity would be giving up its future. On the streets, confusion and panic spread. News reports were filled with images of the alien ships hovering ominously above cities, and people began to worry that the end of the world was near. In major cities, some shops closed as citizens scrambled to buy supplies, fearing a long and brutal conflict. Others made plans to leave their homes, hoping to find safety in rural areas or underground bunkers. The uncertainty was overwhelming. As the debate raged on at the United Nations, the situation began to escalate. The military forces of various nations were put on high alert, ready to act at a moment's notice. Fighter jets soared into the skies, preparing to face the alien ships if necessary. It was a moment of high tension, where the fate of the planet seemed to hang in the balance. Would Earth surrender to the aliens, or would humanity stand its ground? Back at the summit, no agreement was reached. Divisions deepened as countries with more advanced military technology advocated for a stronger stance, but other nations, especially those without significant military strength, feared retaliation if the wrong decision was made. Each side argued fiercely, but the clock was ticking. The aliens remained silent, waiting, observing. No demands were made beyond the original message, leaving Earth's leaders grasping for answers. As the summit adjourned, no decision had been made, but the pressure was mounting. Time was running out. Military commanders began to prepare their forces for possible combat, secretly planning for the worst, and yet there was no sign that the alien ships were going anywhere. In the days that followed, humanity's leaders scrambled to find more information. They searched for any clue that could explain the aliens' motives or reveal a weakness. Teams of scientists, physicists, and engineers were enlisted to analyze the alien technology. They studied every detail, every reading, hoping to find something that would give them an advantage. But each piece of alien technology seemed beyond their understanding. Their ships defied the laws of physics, floating effortlessly in the atmosphere, capable of shifting shapes and emitting strange energy pulses that baffled even the most brilliant minds. Desperation set in. Without any clear answers, many began to fear the worst. What if the aliens had come to take everything? What if they were just waiting for humanity to fall apart before making their move? As governments scrambled to find a solution, it became clear that something had to give. The world couldn't afford to wait much longer. The aliens hadn't made a move yet, but how long could they remain passive? Tensions reached a boiling point. People began to demand action from their leaders. Citizens called for military strikes, worried that waiting any longer would result in a catastrophic loss. The world's leaders now faced a terrible choice. Every moment was critical. They had to act quickly, before the aliens took the next step, or worse, made their move in a way that left no room for humanity to fight back. And just as things seemed to be spiraling out of control, a breakthrough occurred. A group of scientists studying the alien ships discovered a strange anomaly. It appeared that the aliens' technology had a weakness, something in their energy field that could be disrupted. But no one knew if this was real or just a hopeful theory. The discovery gave Earth's leaders a tiny spark of hope, but it was also a risk. They could move forward with this new plan, or they could continue to wait and risk being caught off guard. The world held its breath. Would humanity be able to strike first, using this new information to gain an advantage? Or would the aliens make the next move, leaving humanity with no choice but to react? As the debate continued, one thing was certain. The aliens' presence above Earth had forced humanity to face its most dangerous challenge. The question remained, how would the world respond? Unexpected allies. Just when it seemed like Earth's fate was sealed, an unexpected message arrived, sending shockwaves through the world. The aliens' presence had caused nations to scramble, and fear was beginning to turn into hopelessness. But in the midst of humanity's darkest hour, a strange transmission was intercepted. It came through on all frequencies, cutting across military communications, news outlets, and even civilian networks. The message was cryptic but clear. We know how to defeat them. Trust us. The voice was unfamiliar, but it wasn't like anything humanity had heard from the aliens. It didn't have the cold, robotic tone of the invaders. Instead, it was human, full of urgency and resolve. The transmission continued, explaining that a group of aliens, rebels against the invading force, had been watching humanity for years. They had secretly observed Earth's growing strength, intelligence, and resolve. And now, these aliens had come forward, offering to help. At first, the world was skeptical. Who could possibly trust this message? How did they know it was real? With the alien threat still looming overhead, no one knew whether to view this as a lifeline or another trick to deceive humanity. Some world leaders demanded proof, while others insisted it was a trap designed to divide humanity. But in the face of overwhelming uncertainty, there was also a sense of desperation. Could this be humanity's last chance to fight back? The message continued, explaining that the invaders had weaknesses, flaws in their technology and their strategy, that only this group of rebel aliens could expose. These rebels had once been part of the same alien faction now threatening Earth, but they had turned against their leaders when they realized the true purpose of the invasion. They could provide critical intelligence and even a weapon strong enough to strike at the heart of the invaders' fleet. Despite the doubts, a team of the world's most trusted military and scientific minds was assembled. They worked in secret, decoding the message, cross-referencing the alien technology with their own research. The more they dug into the data, the more it seemed that the rebels might actually be telling the truth. The aliens had given humanity a sliver of hope, a chance to fight back, but time was running out. Humanity could no longer afford to hesitate. As the world's leaders debated, the alien ships remained silent, floating above Earth like dark omens. Every moment felt like a countdown to disaster. The rebel aliens, calling themselves the Freeborn, had given an ultimatum. Act now, or Earth would fall. They explained that the longer the invasion force remained, the more difficult it would be to defeat them. The invaders were preparing to launch a devastating attack, one that would obliterate humanity's major cities and resources. If Earth didn't act quickly, the opportunity to strike back would be lost forever. With the rebels' help, a risky plan began to take shape. The Freeborn would offer their technology to humanity, showing them how to bypass the alien shields and penetrate their defense systems. But there was a catch. Only a small group of humans would be able to access the technology, and they would need to infiltrate the alien mothership itself. The Freeborn could help guide them, but it would be dangerous, perhaps even suicidal. There was no guarantee that the plan would succeed. The world's leaders were divided. Some felt that humanity had no other choice. The Freeborn could be trusted, even if it meant taking a leap of faith. Others feared that it was all a trick, that the aliens' rebellion was just another ploy to manipulate Earth's forces. The uncertainty was unbearable, but there was no more time to waste. Humanity had to choose. The Freeborn's offer was the only hope left. And so, a team of brave volunteers was chosen. Men and women from every corner of the globe, scientists, soldiers, and experts, came together for a mission that seemed impossible. They were trained quickly in the new technology, given the tools they needed to infiltrate the alien fleet, and prepared for what would be the most dangerous operation of their lives. The Freeborn guided them, sharing their knowledge and offering a glimpse of the advanced technology that could level the playing field. As the team made their final preparations, the world watched with bated breath. Would this be humanity's final stand? Would they be able to strike at the heart of the alien invasion before it was too late? And as the mission began, another message came through from the Freeborn. Trust yourselves. The future of your world depends on your courage. The hope that had been almost extinguished was rekindled. The rebels had given humanity a fighting chance, and now it was up to Earth's heroes to seize it. The world held its breath as the team set out, knowing that they were not just fighting for their own survival, but for the survival of all humanity. Humanity's plan. The world was on the brink of chaos. After receiving the rebels' message and preparing their forces, humanity's leaders knew the time for hesitation had passed. The plan was set into motion. It was bold, risky, and required absolute precision. Earth's military might have been mobilized, but now it was time for something more: human ingenuity. A strategy was crafted to turn the tide of war, and for the first time since the alien ships appeared, humanity had a fighting chance. The Freeborn rebels had given them the key, a way to exploit the invaders' technology and weaknesses. The aliens, while powerful and advanced, were not invincible. They had flaws, small cracks in their armor that could be exploited. Humanity's scientists and military strategists worked day and night, refining the rebels' plan and preparing the necessary weapons. The goal was clear: strike the alien mothership at its core, the heart of the invasion force, and disable their command systems. If the humans could destroy or disrupt the mothership, the entire alien fleet would be thrown into chaos, leaving them vulnerable to counterattacks. But there was one major problem. The alien mothership was heavily fortified. Its defenses unlike anything humanity had ever encountered. The Freeborn had explained how to bypass the outer shields, but it would require a precise strike. Any misstep, any failure in timing or coordination, could spell the end of the mission. Yet, despite the odds, humanity was determined. This was their moment to show that even in the face of overwhelming odds, they could rise above. In secret, a team of the world's best pilots, engineers, and soldiers was assembled. These volunteers knew that the mission was likely a one-way trip. The alien mothership was located in the heart of the fleet, heavily guarded and out of reach for conventional forces. The mission was simple: infiltrate, destroy, and escape. However, the challenge was not in the mission itself, but in the unknowns. No one had ever taken on an enemy this powerful. The alien ships had turned Earth's skies into a battleground, and now humanity was about to take the fight back to them. The team was given the latest technology, much of it designed by the Freeborn themselves. Their ships were stealthier, faster, and more resilient than anything humanity had built. The team was trained in using the alien technology to disable the invaders' shields, which had once seemed impenetrable. They would need to approach the mothership undetected, breach its defenses, and disable its core systems. Once the mothership's command was compromised, The aliens would lose their coordinated control. It would buy humanity enough time to counterattack. The Freeborn also gave humanity one final piece of critical information. The alien mothership had a weak spot in its central core, a spot where the shields were thinner and vulnerable. This would be the key to success, but the margin for error was razor thin. The mission would require flawless execution, and the odds of success were slim. But the Freeborn believed that humanity, with their determination and ingenuity, stood a chance. As the team prepared for their mission, humanity's leaders did their best to keep the public calm. People around the world anxiously waited for any news of the operation. Cities were put on high alert, military forces took defensive positions, and everyone held their breath. The future of Earth rested on the shoulders of a small group of brave men and women. They were humanity's last hope. On the day of the mission, the team took their positions. As the clock ticked down to launch time, they knew there was no turning back. The team boarded their stealth ships, now equipped with the Freeborn technology, and began their journey to the alien fleet. Each pilot and engineer had their part to play, working in perfect harmony as they navigated through the enemy lines. The first challenge came as they neared the alien mothership. A swarm of alien drones was dispatched, their sensors scanning for any signs of intrusion. The team's ships were designed to evade detection, but they had to move fast. As the alien drones neared, the tension was unbearable. The team held their breath, hoping their ships would remain undetected. Every moment was crucial. Once past the drones, they entered the heart of the alien fleet, the mothership looming ahead. Its sheer size was overwhelming, its dark form a testament to the power it contained. It was surrounded by dozens of smaller ships, all moving in perfect synchronization. The team could feel the weight of their mission bearing down on them, but they pushed forward. This was the moment humanity had been waiting for, the moment to strike back. As they closed in on the mothership, the team activated the disruptor technology that would weaken the alien shields. With a flick of a switch, the alien energy field around the mothership began to flicker and wane. For the first time since the invasion began, the alien fleet was vulnerable. The team raced toward their target, knowing that they had only one shot. One mistake could mean their destruction. As they neared the core of the mothership, they deployed the final phase of the plan. The precision strike aimed directly at the weak spot. The moment the strike hit, the mothership's shields collapsed, sending shockwaves through the fleet. The invaders had underestimated humanity's ability to fight back. The mothership, now crippled, was left vulnerable to humanity's next move. But the victory came at a cost. The team knew they had done their part, but they also knew that the true battle was just beginning. With the mothership disabled, the alien forces would be thrown into disarray. But they were not defeated yet. Humanity had bought itself time, but the real test was still to come. Would this be enough to turn the tide, or would the invaders retaliate with even more force? The world waited for the answer, but humanity's plan had set the stage for what was to come. The fight for survival was far from over, but Earth had just taken its first step toward victory. The first strike. The moment the alien mothership's shields collapsed, the world held its breath. For the first time in days, there was hope. The disabled mothership floated in space like a giant, wounded beast, vulnerable and exposed. The team's strike had worked. The plan that seemed almost impossible was beginning to show results. But humanity knew this was just the beginning of their fight. The true test was still ahead. As the alien fleet scrambled to respond to the breach in their defenses, Earth's forces mobilized with renewed vigor. The military's best pilots, now equipped with the knowledge gained from the Freeborn, were ready to engage the alien forces in a way humanity had never attempted before. They knew the mothership was the key to the entire operation. Without it, the alien invasion would crumble. But getting to it was another matter entirely. Across the globe, tension built to a fever pitch. Governments sent out a call to action. "This is our moment," they said. "This is our chance to show the aliens that humanity will never bow down." The world's people, who had been gripped by fear and uncertainty, were now inspired by the bravery and ingenuity of their leaders and soldiers. They had seen a glimpse of victory, and they rallied behind the idea of fighting back. In the skies, humanity's fighters launched in waves, heading straight toward the alien mothership and the now disorganized fleet. Each ship was equipped with high-powered lasers and projectiles designed to disrupt the alien technology. The first wave of fighters quickly encountered the remaining alien drones, which had been deployed to protect the mothership. These drones, while fast and dangerous, were now disoriented after the disruption. They were not used to having their enemies stand their ground. The air was thick with anticipation. Every missile that flew from the Earth's fighters seemed like it carried the weight of an entire planet. The sound of explosions echoed in space, a harsh reminder that this was not just a battle for victory, but a battle for survival. The alien ships, despite their advanced technology, were struggling to adapt to the new tactics humanity had adopted. Earth's forces, now in full battle mode, were relentless. In the midst of this chaos, the alien mothership began to pulse with energy, a sign that it was preparing to launch a devastating counterattack. Its weapons, once hidden behind impenetrable shields, now began to charge. The alien fleet, although disordered, was still a threat. Their retaliation could be catastrophic. But humanity wasn't about to back down. The fighters continued their relentless assault, targeting the vulnerable points on the alien fleet, while larger ships moved in for the final blow. The plan was to hit the mothership again, one final strike that would cripple the invaders' ability to retaliate. However, the alien mothership wasn't going to go down without a fight. As it gathered its energy, the alien fleet reorganized, forming a defensive perimeter around the mothership. The humans were now facing the full fury of the alien war machine, and the odds were stacked against them. The world watched in horror and awe as the battle raged in the skies. Earth's forces had gained a foothold, but the alien fleet was retaliating fiercely. Each moment felt like a lifetime, as the fate of the planet hung in the balance. Every fighter that soared toward the mothership knew they might not make it back. The stakes had never been higher. Just when it seemed the aliens would push humanity back, something unexpected happened. The rebel aliens, the Freeborn, launched their own attack. Their ships, now integrated with Earth's technology, swooped down from the shadows. With precision and skill, they attacked the alien fleet from behind, catching the invaders off guard. This move gave humanity the chance it needed. The alien fleet, already weakened by the previous strike, was thrown into disarray. Seeing this opening, Earth's pilots pushed forward with renewed aggression. A fleet of fighters moved in, flanking the mothership on both sides. The skies were filled with the sounds of lasers and explosions as humanity fought like never before. The alien ships, already scrambling to regroup, couldn't keep up with the speed and creativity of the human forces. The once intimidating invaders now seemed like disjointed forces, confused and overwhelmed by the intensity of the attack. With a final coordinated strike, Earth's forces unleashed everything they had on the mothership. Missiles and lasers hit their target with incredible force, punctuating the vulnerability of the alien vessel. The explosion that followed was deafening, sending shockwaves through the alien fleet. The mothership, crippled by the combined effort of humanity and their freeborn allies, was forced into a retreat. But as the mothership began to retreat into the depths of space, one final message was transmitted to Earth. It was the alien leader's voice, distorted but unmistakable. "This is not the end. We will return." The first strike had succeeded. The alien mothership was no longer a threat, and the alien fleet was thrown into confusion. But this was not the end of the war. The aliens had made it clear. They would not stop. Humanity had proven its strength, its resolve, but now the real fight was just beginning. The world celebrated the first victory, but deep down, everyone knew that the next battle would be even more challenging. The alien invasion had only begun, and Earth had just made its first move in what would be a long and hard-fought war. The turning point. The victory in space was hard-won, but it wasn't the end of the war. The alien mothership had been crippled, its vast fleet scattered and disorganized. But the invaders were not easily defeated. The message sent by their leader before the retreat was a clear warning. Earth had won the battle, but not the war. The alien forces would regroup, rebuild, and return stronger than ever. Humanity had bought itself a brief moment of respite, but the question remained: could they hold on long enough to finish what they started? Back on Earth, the victory was celebrated as a sign of hope. The news spread across every corner of the globe, sparking a surge of pride and determination. People who had once feared the alien invaders now felt a renewed sense of strength. Earth had shown that it could stand against the invaders, perhaps even win. The military forces were bolstered by this victory, but the harsh reality was that the aliens weren't finished yet. They had already started to rebuild, gathering their forces and preparing for the next wave of destruction. The Freeborn, despite their critical role in the success, warned that the invaders had been holding something back. They had been carefully observing Earth's strategies and weaknesses, and they now knew the humans' tactics. The next wave of alien ships would be more advanced, and their commanders would be prepared for the unpredictability that had caught them off guard before. If humanity was to survive, they needed to adapt, and quickly. In the following weeks, Earth's military leaders gathered at a secret location to create a new plan of attack. They had learned a valuable lesson from the first strike. Humanity's greatest strength was its ability to think differently, to outsmart the enemy. But now, they needed to push their ingenuity even further. The battle for survival had just begun. One of the brightest minds from Earth's science division, Dr. Elena Hayes, proposed a daring solution: the creation of a new fleet, one that combined human ingenuity with the alien technology acquired from the Freeborn. This fleet would not simply fight the invaders, they would outthink them. Dr. Hayes suggested using the alien technology to not just attack, but to infiltrate the alien ships themselves. If they could take control of an alien vessel from the inside, they could turn the tide of the war in a way that would leave the invaders completely powerless. It was a risky proposition. The alien ships were heavily guarded, their systems completely foreign to humans. But Dr. Hayes believed it could be done. If they could breach the ship's core systems, humanity could sabotage their weapons, disable their shields, and even take control of the motherships themselves. It would require incredible precision, the kind of mission that would either turn the war in Earth's favor or lead to complete failure. As humanity's forces gathered their strength, they had only one option left: take the fight to the aliens before they could regroup. The next wave of invasion was coming, and if Earth didn't act now, the invaders would finish what they started. Every human, every freeborn ally, knew that this moment was the defining one. If humanity failed now, there would be no more chances. A small group of elite soldiers and scientists, trained in the alien technology, was assembled for what was called Operation Phoenix. The mission was simple in theory, but incredibly complex in execution: infiltrate the alien motherships, take control of their systems, and turn them against their creators. These were humanity's finest, handpicked for their courage, intelligence, and willingness to risk everything. As the team prepared to leave Earth's atmosphere, their hearts were heavy with the weight of their mission. They knew the risks. They were about to go into the heart of the alien fleet, far from Earth's defenses. There was no way of knowing whether they would succeed, or even if they would survive. But the knowledge that Earth's future rested on their shoulders gave them the courage to move forward. In the cold, silent depths of space, the alien fleet was regrouping, unaware of the plan that was unfolding. The humans had learned to blend into the shadows of space, using their newly developed technology to move undetected. Every moment was crucial, and as the team approached the heart of the alien fleet, there was a sense of anticipation. Would this be the turning point they had been waiting for? The team moved swiftly and silently toward their first target, a heavily armed alien destroyer. It was one of the largest ships in the fleet, and its energy signature was off the charts. As they neared the destroyer, the team activated their cloaking devices and prepared to board. They had no idea what awaited them inside, But the mission was their only hope. The Freeborn had given them the tools they needed, but it was up to them to succeed. Inside the destroyer, the atmosphere was tense. The alien ship, silent and deadly, moved through the vastness of space, completely unaware of the humans aboard. The team infiltrated the ship's control center, using the alien technology to bypass security systems and gain access to its core. The process was slow and dangerous, but with each passing second, they were getting closer to their goal. And then, as the team reached the core systems of the destroyer, something unexpected happened. The alien technology, which had once seemed so foreign and invulnerable, began to respond to the human touch. The systems flickered, and the ship's weapons powered down. For the first time in history, humans had taken control of an alien vessel. This was the turning point. The alien fleet, once unstoppable, was now vulnerable. The humans had broken through, and the war had taken on a new dimension. Earth was no longer just fighting for survival. They were fighting for the future. The invaders had no idea what they had unleashed. Humanity's ruthless justice. The moment the humans gained control of the alien destroyer, the course of the war shifted. It wasn't just a victory, it was a declaration. Humanity had shown that it was no longer just a species to be feared, but a force to be reckoned with. The invaders had underestimated Earth's ability to adapt, to innovate, and most of all, to fight back. With the first alien ship under their command, the humans launched a series of coordinated strikes. The alien fleet, once proud and menacing, was now disjointed. Earth's forces, using their newly acquired technology, infiltrated the motherships, turning the invaders' weapons against them. The very ships that had been used to subjugate humanity were now weapons of destruction for Earth. The first major battle was intense. As the humans commanded the alien destroyer, they tore through the invaders' defenses with an unmatched fury. Alien ships were disabled, their shields compromised, and their systems hacked. With every successful strike, humanity's message grew clearer. They would not fall without a fight. The aliens had demanded Earth's resources and power, but now the humans were delivering ruthless justice. As Earth's new fleet took the fight to the alien motherships, the invaders' once unshakable confidence began to crumble. For every ship they sent to counterattack, a human-controlled alien destroyer turned its weapons back on them, cutting through their ranks with surgical precision. The invaders couldn't understand what was happening. Their greatest strength, their technology, was being used against them. The fear and uncertainty that had plagued humanity were now mirrored in the hearts of the aliens. The Freeborn, watching from the sidelines, were astonished at how quickly humanity adapted to their new technology. They had given the humans the tools, but it was humanity's bravery, its ingenuity, that made them unstoppable. They had turned the tables, and the invaders' once unstoppable march toward victory had come to a screeching halt. The alien leader, in a final act of desperation, called for reinforcements from distant corners of the galaxy. But by the time those reinforcements arrived, it was too late. Humanity's forces had already crippled the alien command structure. The motherships that had once been the heart of the alien invasion fleet were now reduced to floating wrecks in space, their command systems hacked and dismantled. The invaders' forces were scattered and leaderless, unable to organize any coherent resistance. And then, in a final brutal act of defiance, humanity unleashed their most devastating weapon: the complete destruction of the alien homeworld. The information stolen from the alien ships, combined with humanity's own ingenuity, had allowed them to develop a weapon powerful enough to strike at the heart of the alien empire. It was a weapon of mass destruction, not just for Earth's defense, but as a message to every alien race that would dare to challenge humanity's place in the universe. The humans fired the weapon, and the explosion that followed was catastrophic. The alien homeworld, a once thriving planet of advanced civilization, was reduced to rubble. It was an act of ultimate justice, one that signified not only Earth's victory, but the relentless spirit of humanity. A species that, no matter the odds, would never submit, never surrender, and never give up. As the alien fleet retreated, broken and defeated, Earth's people celebrated their hard-won victory. The war had been long, the sacrifices great, but humanity had proven that it would rise to any challenge. The story of their resilience would be remembered for generations to come. It wasn't just the story of a victory against an alien invasion. It was a story of human strength, ingenuity, and spirit. It was the story of how humanity, against all odds, took what was rightfully theirs, the future. And as the stars shone brightly in the sky, humanity looked upward, not with fear, but with a sense of pride. They had shown the universe that they were not just survivors, they were conquerors, and the galaxy would remember Earth's ruthless justice for all eternity.